There we go. I got it back on. Well, I guess there'll be a slight interruption in the stream feed and nothing I can do about it. But yeah, there's still a lot to be done on Duran's Tower. Yeah. All in all, I think we've done a pretty decent job with Duran's Tower so far, at least for what we're doing. My old guild leader from EverQuest lived in Juneau, Alaska, but she is no longer with us. Part of why our guild broke up is she lost her battle with cancer. Yeah, she fought the good fight all the way through it to the bitter end. People kept trying to say, "Don't give up, don't give up," but she was in so much agonizing pain. She asked me what I thought one time. I said, "I understand agony from pain, and I mean it takes a toll. It'll wear you down." When you get to that point where you don't know anything but pain, your mind just eventually it will go numb. My first run with cancer, they called it late stage, and the only reason I survived the first go with it is because I basically signed up to be a guinea pig, because the insurance wouldn't. I didn't have any insurance, and I couldn't afford the treatments. I signed up on a voucher thing to possibly get free treatment, and the day that I got told that I got selected, it turned out that there was one other on the list, and I didn't realize it was a small little girl. And I took one look at the nurse. I said, "Give me the paperwork." She's like, "You realize what you're doing, don't you?" I'm like, "Yeah." I forfeited my treatment slot and gave it to the little girl. I couldn't do it. I was like, "I've had my run. She's got to at least have a chance." Worst thing that used to bug the devil out of me is people that would come into the center and sit there and harp on, "Well, I'm tired of being drugged down by you." I'm like, you know what? You ain't the one that's dealing with it. I let into one person that was giving a family member a hard time. I said, "Why don't you just do your family member a giant favor and leave? If you ain't gonna be supportive, then leave. We don't need a reminder of what we're facing." So yeah, they ended up giving me cocktail shots, if you know what those are medically. Normally you're only supposed to take 30 unit doses. I was taking 90. It allowed my body to fight, but it did damage to my kidneys and my liver. And Doc said, "If you ever develop the lung cancer again," he said, "you won't be able to do the same thing a second time. Your body will never survive it." He said, "It's not a maybe, an if, it's a guarantee." He said, "This is a one and done deal."
Got it. I'm exhausted. Get him!
And then ended up fighting a round two, what I thought was going to be round two, and knock on wood, it ended up being a false positive. They went ahead and removed the mass anyway, but the doctor said, "You know as well as I do, once we go to cutting and removing, if we miss anything, it can go active."
Perfect. That is all you've got?
I'm just like, I've survived worse odds.
My legs are...
and this corner where things were kind of red, but it still let me put it in place.
Yeah, and that just means that there's a good chance it's going to break, unfortunately.
Yep.
Aye. Aye.
Oh, it's interesting is it's not doing it now. Oh, no, wait, there it is. So, like, right there. Okay. So, because in theory, you should be able to go 3 tiles out, right? From a column.
Yeah, and I didn't.
Yeah, you're within that.
That's actually looking better than I thought it would.
So, Plum, what would you think if I came out to visit for a bit and I brought my rig with me?
I think it'd be great.
Trying to figure out how the cheap. I looked at Amtrak tickets. They're the cheapest. It's just a question of my wheelchair.
Yep.
I looked at plane tickets. They're expensive because they would charge me by the weight. My chair weighs 395 pounds.
What?
Yeah, plane, dude, air, they've started
That's
charging
ridiculous.
by weight because it costs more fuel.
Like they have that many disabled people in wheelchairs
It's got nothing to do with
going
disabled
out that
people.
it's gonna break them. It's kind of like my complaint about Alaskans getting charged up, overcharged for stuff.
Well, I'm kind of reluctant to fly too because if I try to fly, I've got to get all kind of medical clearances to do that. And if I fly, I've got to have somebody fly with me because of my health. So I'm thinking a train.
What if you
train ride might be.
Have you looked at a charter?
No.
I mean, sometimes maybe a personal charter might be the easier way to go. You're not gonna have all these stupid rules, right?
Well, it's even so. I would still have to have a medical clearance to fly because my heart can't handle pressure. That's why why I've basically been restricted from flying is because being a pressurized tube would pretty much compress my heart. Heart can't take that.
That's actually looking kind of pretty good, I think.
Yeah, I like the stone and the carved stuff combined.
I'll check into it and see. But I mean, I looked at an Amtrak ticket. I think an Amtrak ticket round trip, coast to coast, is like just under $400, which ain't bad. I'd be on a train.
Well, and they shouldn't have to charge you anything extra for the chair because they would have spots where you could just wheel into, right?
Yeah, well, my chair's motorized, so.
Right, but that's what I mean though, is
Yeah.
they should have spots that have the seats missing so that you can just roll into it.
Yeah. I talked to Amtrak and they said given my chair and all, most likely what would have to happen because I'd be on the train for so long is that I would need to see about a room, a cabin. because I'd be on the one train for well over a day. With all the stops that I'd have to do, and I'd have to switch three trains, because I'd have to take the train from down here where I'm at and go all the way up to the Canadian border to catch another train that would cut slightly back down just to get on the train that goes east-west. Because apparently they shut down the connecting line that they had here already that would connect onto that main line. Doesn't make sense to me.
Because it's wintertime? No tourists?
No, they discontinued the rail line. They shut it down completely. There's like a couple of miles of
Well,
track that they literally ripped up.
I'm out of Elvenwood.
Oh, I happened to pick some up.
Go use what's in the base.
Because I was taking it back, so I can drop this off for you.
Sounds
and then I'll
good.
go get more.
There's plenty of
Yeah, the carved stuff is cool, but it takes Elvenwood.
Yeah. It looks really nice, though.
Go get the elven wood in the base.
She just dropped off a bunch here. We're way good.
You still know what I mean, knucklehead.
I do.
Don't argue with me,
You're
I'm the boss. Capisce? Or you forget who signs the checks.
I do.
Oh wait, that's right, I don't pay you. You get to exist.
2, 3. Do you have tiles stacked on top of each other?
Some, yes.
Okay. I wonder if that could be causing some of the issues. Because I'm counting out from where the columns are, and it looks like you've got overlapping full tiles. That
Took
could
some
possibly...
of them out. I went on and put the individuals on a lot of it. But the basic, where the main ground floor is, there are some, yes.
I swear to God, it's always when I'm trying to place the last little bit, and stuff doesn't want to line up right.
You know, I would almost suggest, just because the line from your top beam almost cuts across the top of the mountain, so I almost would suggest even a half a column taller. Let's see here. I think the stone columns come in short pieces, right?
They do. Go ahead and play. By all means.
Question is will it let you? Oh, it lets you mesh them in now. What?
Yep. Yeah.
Good grief! What a mess that's gonna be. If you're not careful, not stacking it right on top of each other. Oh boy. I'm just thinking, because if you're sitting at the middle, right? If you're going to put conference
Mm-hmm.
tables at the middle.
Exactly.
It would kind of suck to have the mountain. That's interesting. This must be because you've got some of the floor tiles meshed together. Because the beam's sticking out
Well, my curiosity.
from the ends of these columns.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yep.
So that means they may not be sitting. I don't know. They're meshed in weird. Yeah, so if you're like over here, the top of that mountain would be visible if it was raised up to that point.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Absolutely.
But it all depends on how.
I just wasn't sure how tall I could go.
Yeah, that's going to be the question, right? Because this actually overhangs. This edge is overhanging your wood beams
Yep.
underneath,
Okay.
which your wood
Yep,
columns
understood.
are overhanging.
Well, they are. If you let me show you. Ding.
Oh yeah, I know. I saw from below that they're overhanging.
That's where that. That's why I wasn't worried about the idea that it's like one
from
clip
his. Yeah.
from my base underneath.
Mm-hmm. But hey, if you're deleting stuff and these are still there, then that means it's getting support from somewhere else. So that's good.
Right.
That's how I test the stability of my columns, because for me, when I build, I try to make sure all the strength comes from the columns and that the columns are touching the ground. But it's hard to get columns spaced out because they don't snap to a grid unless you have a floor underneath it. And I don't like to build a floor because they'll snap sometimes on top of the floor, so they're not touching the ground. So what I'll do is I'll build a column.
Do you like
touching the? Go ahead.
No, you're good.
I build a column so that it's I can get that piece. Nope. I build a column so it's touching the ground, and then I'll use a beam near like midway to space it out, and I'll put in another column next to it, but then I delete the beam. And if the second column I place stays, then I know it's touching the ground properly. I had a very frustrating stint of building my garrison at Narve in Campaign World. And I kept coming up with things not matching right, and then I saw that the floor wasn't... the walls weren't touching the floor, which the columns weren't touching the ground. So it was like an exponential thing that gets worse the further up you get.
Yeah, to a degree, you have to look at things from an actual true engineering you know what I'm trying to say. I can't.
Yes.
Perspective. Yeah. That's why I was about to do a free cam on your columns here with your floor. Because I only saw the problem when I was at the top of the stairs, and then I looked across and saw that there's a gap. I had a little bit of a rage quit issue happen. And I almost deleted my video. And then I thought, no, I'm going to leave this here because the devs need to know how frustrating this is.
And
then I resolved it.
When I first started playing and I started running, talking to my community and stuff about some of the things I was saying, I was like, the devs got no idea what's coming, because when the builders get into this.
Well, I didn't understand how they give you a way to build, but they apparently didn't think people were going to build? What?
Yeah, they weren't expecting people to get as creative with it. You could tell by some of the early reactions.
Yeah.
I really like your thought process on this.
Yeah, I think that's gonna look cool. Because then you'll be able to see up the mountains. I mean, you got the giant one there,
Yeah.
but...
It just... I said it during one of the dev streams one time. I was like, y'all don't realize just how excessive that builders can really go. Don't ever tell a builder, well, that that they can't outdo something. Don't give them a challenge.
All right, local. I'm gonna leave you to your duty and get back to mine.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
That my only suggestion might be if you start one, if you find yourself falling through the floor,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the key, right? That stuff's not stable is when you yourself suddenly find yourself falling through the floor. You might
Right.
have to take out this floor and
Yep.
start again carefully from the stairwell.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. Because that would be my only concern is that it looks like you're not getting the glitch that you get when you have tiles overlapping each other. Because my
Every time
husband
I
would
see
do that a
those,
lot.
I actually go back and I pull whatever's glitching and repair it and change it.
Yeah.
That's what I had to do with this other floor that I have built down here. It's this outer walkway. I had to pull it up and redo it because it wasn't lined up right, and it was...
Yeah. But I wouldn't, bother destroying it all. If it's letting you build, it's letting you build. It's gonna look cool. I like the overhang look. It's cool.
Spend a lot of time running all the way down to the bottom outside to where like the monument was to look up and see how we were looking.
Mm-hmm. You guys gonna do like long tables?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, the idea for that room up there is to be a council chamber.
Oh, nice.
So when it's all said and done, I figure we'll have all the builders come on and be in that room.
Oh man, you just was making me think. I was gonna say you should come see my Frosthold build that I'm doing, and then I was just thinking, oh god, I haven't been in there since the last couple of updates. It should be stable. I'm very particular. However, you never know.
Yeah, with
what's
this
gonna
game,
happen.
with the updates they've done, like every time they do one, I'm very cautious.
Because I've built a floor across, an elevated floor across Narve's Forge. So, when you come into Narve's Forge, there's a dual staircase that goes up to a level. And that level is my High Council floor, where the High Council meets. And I have kind of a dais built up against near the forge face. So that's the face of the forge is the backdrop behind the council.
Nice.
Kind of thinking of what my D&D Battlemaster dwarf would have for her.
I actually run a lockdown on
home.
my D&D games.
You run a what?
A loxodon. An elephant.
I'm not. Oh, okay.
The elephant guy.
Yeah.
Something that is so hideous it should not exist.
It's just giant walking elephant.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I
Stands on two
know how
legs.
it's hideous. It's horrendous. It's an obscenity. If I still had my half elf dragon caster, I would cast it into my infinite bag and throw it in there with all the other critters that I've thrown in there. My infinite bag for infinite torment, because I threw all kind of stuff in there. At one point, I actually trapped the spirit of a lich dragon in there.
Nice. Okay, why is that door open?
But that ended up being a very chaotic fight because the dungeon master was trying to kill us. He was mad that we kept succeeding and having such lucky rolls on our dice rolls. And then he got really vindictive on the last campaign. Characters we'd had for 4 years, he killed off. And he just arbitrarily decided, oh well, no, you're all dead.
That's not cool.
Just to be a jerk because he was mad that we had such success. Stuff I'd collected. We'd had items that had come from we'd killed some deities. We killed a light associated deity. We actually went into his realm and killed him. Well, we went to talk to him first. He didn't want to talk. We're like, okay, fine. You don't want to talk. We're gonna kill you. And we ripped away his godly essence, which then gave us an affinity towards destructive gods, and then that lured out the god we were actually after, and we killed him. Because he wanted to make a deal for the essence of the light god that we had drained. We're like, sucker, you were the one we were after to begin with. We even laid
Well,
waste
down
to...
here that.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say we even laid waste to a couple of cities. We got it. I think our dwarf in our group got drunk one night in a tavern, and the RP of that was I was sitting drinking the equivalent of like a eldenberry drink, and he made an offhand comment to a female elf, and she threw something at him. Well, in typical dwarf mentality, he took his axe and buried it in her head.
Oh boy.
And it started a fight. Next thing I know, I'm like, raise one eye and like looking. The dungeon master's like, suddenly the town guard burst in, and you calmly wave your hand and the guards are incinerated. And I'm like, now is the time to go. You pay, and I paid the tavern keep, and we walked out. And I was like, was there really a need for you to kill the elf?
Hmm. Oh, hello. That was funny. You just dropped down from the sky in front of me.
Behold, mortal, shocked and awe. There's so much you can do with D&D. It's not funny.
Yeah. We had our players picked up a floating disc scroll, and they were trying to figure out what to do with it. And then somehow we got on the subject of seeing who could ride it the furthest kind of thing.
Oh boy.
And then it turned into me saying, all right, give me 10 minutes. And I made up a course by their home spot. And we did a race. Everybody got their own try at riding it around, and I made up points where they had to roll for checks and stuff, and yeah, it was pretty funny describing their antics. Racing the disc around.
I think the hardest fight we ever did, though, was that undead lich dragon, because it was an ancient lich dragon. And
I think I accidentally used all your grab apples too, by the way.
That's fine. We didn't know it was in the cavern. We were going after a tome of knowledge because we were trying to hunt down this spell. It was a resurrection spell that if it worked, it would res everyone. But if it backfired, everyone died. It's a high level res. Very dangerous, very tricky. And we had been adventuring for it, and we thought we were getting close. Well, it turned out that the information we had is that it was protected by a dragon. We didn't know it was an ancient lich dragon.
Oh boy.
We literally walked into an ancient lich dragon's cave, and the dwarf in the party, of all the things to do, relieves himself on the head of this ancient lich dragon that's resting.
Of course.
And that's what wakes it up. Well, needless to say, it wakes up, fireball, spitting acid, everything else you can think of. Stuff is just completely chaos. We're throwing spells at it. It's chucking unmentionables at us, and I'm just like,
oh jeez.
We were hitting it with everything we had. We had a warrior with a blessed blade that he broke his blade trying to harm the lich. We actually ended up having to do another quest later to go back to a realm of fire to reforge his sword because it broke the sword.
Wow.
That was a pain.
Wow.
It's basically like an elemental infused sword, which are hard to get. Because in order to get one, you've basically either got to kill or persuade an elemental to imbue the sword. And it's a lot harder to persuade one than it is to kill one.
Sure.
There's a guy on Twitch, Captain Robert, if you ever get a mind to check him out. He does D&D all the time.
Nice. I haven't played in like 3 years.
Yeah, he
live
streams it. Honestly, because of him, I thought about getting back into... Whoa, that ain't a good sign.
Uh-oh. Did you just fall through the floor?
Yep.
Where at?
Here in Durn's Tower.
Where I was at, or?
No, lower level. I think it's just because the server is lagging. Or my internet. Now it's solid again. Yeah, just my internet lagged for a bit.
I think I want that to end up there. Huh, you don't get the sound that you sucked up stuff all the time.
No, I noticed that too.
Now I'm wondering, did I suck it up or did it get lost in the nethers of something? Wait, we have railing pieces now that are together? Did they change the railing pieces? Or is this because of your 1.0 game?
No, the railing, that should be new stuff.
They have wood railings that look like the Abazam railing, but it has the post on the end of it.
No, that's the DLC. That's the. I
Oh,
believe
really?
that's the Ent DLC.
Interesting. Come on. I want to go to the stairs. Stop kicking me over. Oh my gosh. There, finally. Really? It won't build the tile there when the stair is there, but if I remove the stair, it'll let me build the wall. Or put the tile there. Oh, interesting.
Weird.
Oh, I see what I did. The heck did I do that? Their auto snapping sure doesn't want to work anymore, does it?
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah.
So, Toth, is this run on your computer or is it a dedicated server?
He does
Uh-oh.
that I'm aware of.
I didn't hear half of what you just said.
He's not there at the moment, I guess.
Okay.
No, I don't. It runs on my computer, not a dedicated server.
Okay. So, Loco, do you know the trick about how if you build from up to down, like from something up high down to the ground to get the placement for the base, to
Yes.
delete the stuff above the base and rebuild it from the bottom up?
Yes.
Okay. Because I found that tends to help with stability issues. Or it's my theory, at least.
I actually found that worked on when I was in my sandbox, having trouble issues trying to get things lined up.
Yeah, because you can only line it up from going from top to bottom, but then you end up with an issue where the system's tracking stability from top to bottom instead of bottom to top. Which is kind of silly, because then you end up building everything twice, right?
Yep.
Wait, did I eat my meal? I'm literally like within 4 tile lengths away from this cook table, and I barely heard the ding. That's kind of ridiculous. I don't know why they have such a short distance on that. All right, let's see. Can I put floors in?
Okay.
I wanted that. It's not all one. But
No, you're good. Thank you.
Orange. That doesn't make any sense. Huh. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Okay, that just looks awesome.
Yeah, the only reason I haven't ever started a dedicated server is because I've heard some real horror stories about some of the dedicated servers.
As in, like, what? I haven't had too many problems. There was a
Servers
glitch
crashing,
that
data being lost, servers getting wiped randomly.
Oh, interesting.
One of the guilds that plays in Warhammer, they went to log into their server that they've had running for almost 7 months steady now, and their server was wiped.
Oh, snap. Was that with the Nitrito?
Uh-huh. And I've had bad experiences with Nitrito before, and I I ain't willing to trust them.
I've seen other people have problems, but well, maybe I shouldn't say anything. I'll jinx myself. So why is that ignoring the column altogether? That's interesting.
Yeah, a while back I had another server that I hadn't tried on. I lost like 4 years worth of work because it did just a random wipe, and all they kept wanting to say was like, "Well, it's a mistake you made." I said, "What mistake?" My God, we went to log on the server and the server was empty.
Yeah. How did I make a mistake?
And as somebody that's a retired computer tech, sitting here telling me, "Oh, well, it's your fault," and all that, yeah, that no, that to me is just you're copping out because you don't want to take responsibility that your system screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, if there's an issue, hey, I ain't got a problem with waiting for a hot fix or something to address it. But to sit there and tell somebody that, oh, well, you're just, out of luck, and you've got, at the time I had like 40 people playing on my server, and I'm just like, so what am I supposed to tell my player base?
Man, they've done something that screwed up structural stability in this game. I'm running into orange on columns that are on game floor
Yep.
that I shouldn't be running
I'm
into
having that here.
orange on. Yeah, but I'm only one space away.
Yeah.
It's not like it's.
Sometimes I had to,
4 tiles out.
I had to make sure I was actually aiming at the floor too. So that was another one that that was doing.
Right, but it's not hovering on the floor because I deleted the piece above it because I did that top to bottom thing, and I deleted the pieces above it, so it wasn't connecting anything, and it didn't explode. So it can not be touching the floor. And I just double checked to make sure it's an in-game floor. But they did something because those that will remain unnamed were complaining about sinking stuff into the ground. Because they love to use adamant blocks and sink adamant blocks into everything. So then they removed stability from ground and game pieces to somehow allow that to be expedited, I guess. I don't know. But now it's messed with the rest of the world that doesn't use adamant blocks as a base. So you can't sink anything into the ground anymore. You used to be able to sink stuff into the ground or into the walls for stability, and that's gone now. They took it away. And you actually get instability if something sinks into the floor, which also doesn't make any sense. Let's see here.
Yeah.
I get that yellow doesn't matter, but I mean, I don't like building when I see orange. And that doesn't make any sense that I'm seeing orange. off of a column that's attached to the ground. A column that's attached to the ground and a stair that's attached to the column that's attached to the granite column that's also touching the ground. There's no reason it should not be reading stable. Unless it's trying to do it off of the floor. If it's trying to read the stability off of the floor as opposed to the column, that could be a problem. So let's delete the floor. And see if I have a problem with the column still.
I thought I had this done, but apparently I made a mistake.
Interesting. So guys, I was trying to put a beam in under a floor. Because I have columns going up for the stairway.
Yeah.
And I was starting to build the floor for the second floor. And I immediately ran into orange. Which didn't make sense because the floors were sitting on the columns. And snapping to the column. So I went to put beams underneath to kind of go across the gap so that they would reach into the granite that I built, the granite walls, which should not ever have any problems because granite columns are solid, right?
Right.
They're the solid thing to build with. And when I deleted the floor that I was trying to support and then placed the column back in there against the vertical column, when I went to put the beam to the column, I should use my words properly, with the floor removed, it was yellow instead of orange. So it was totally reading the stability from the floor and not the column, even though it snapped to the column. The beam snapped to the column. But it was only reading the stability from the floor. Which would make sense why it was freaked out. But it doesn't make any sense why it was doing that. Interesting. So anyway, don't try to add columns underneath the floor. You have to remove the floor, put the columns in, and then put the floor back.
Lovely.
Is what I'm learning. Is my lesson for today.
The more you know. Would you like to know more? Click here.
No, I don't want to know anymore.
No, I made that comment.
I want to ignore the rest of everything else.
My brain was going, no, please don't go there.
What's wrong with Starship Troopers?
Nothing whatsoever.
What, you got something against Johnny Rico?
No, just having fun with it.
I thought he was going with the, Generation X. The more you know.
Generation X.
Knowing's half the battle.
Yeah, exactly.
That's G.I. Joe. And yes,
Same era.
Yes, I'm that old.
So is this supposed to be yellow or green? Because it looks green to me. The hues that they're throwing out. Did they change what the colors are supposed to mean now?
Welcome to the slaughterhouse.
Right?
Alright, so let's see if I can put a floor in here now. Question is do I need to put a beam all the way across? This way.
All this work
Shouldn't
just
have
to put a
to.
roof in.
I'm not even to my roof stage. I'm just trying to put a second floor in so that I can put my final columns in.
Yeah, I messed up in having to redo the roof.
Wow, that wind is picking up outside.
Well, if it starts
Yep.
whistling Dixie, then you need to worry.
It is. It's whistling. It's whistling through the wall, through the window. All right. That should not cause any problems. Oh, another tone out. What do they got going on? Dead battery. This is what happens when you're a retired volunteer. You just can't not let it go. You got a backseat critique. I would do.
Oh, I get it.
I heard the tones go off and the sirens go down the street on Christmas, and I was like, yep, I don't miss that.
I don't want to hear ever have to hear the sirens of an ambulance again.
Alright, so with the horrible perspective that I have, let's see if I can put a floor in here. My grandpa was a volunteer as well. And as a kid, I was always like, why does he have that scanner? Now I know why. Now I know why.
Yeah, my grandfather was a volunteer firefighter. He helped actually get the fire department going for one of the small towns. He even helped buy their very first fire engine because the town didn't have enough in their budget to afford one.
Right.
So he bought one of the old military base fire engines
Uh-huh.
from where he used to work because for a time, he was a base firefighter.
Oh, right, sure. It's still gonna give me orange. What the heck?
And that was after I think he did that after his 7 tours in Vietnam, flying
Wow.
on C-130s. They actually painted the nose of one of the aircraft with his nickname Gator.
That's cool.
Yeah, I happened to be walking into the firehouse sub in the small town where I was living. I was talking about it, and there happened to be an Air National Guard from the base. And he looked at me and said, "Wait a second, say that again?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "I just retired that plane. We just flew it out to Arizona to the boneyard. They're gonna put it on
Oh,
on display because it actually went to Vietnam." I said, "Yeah, I know. It also went into Laos and Cambodia."
yeah, I'm familiar with the boneyard. My husband's dad flew one of the last F4s for the Navy out to the boneyard. So his last F4 is out there.
The young guy looked at me and says, "So you the chief's grandson?" I said, "Well, yeah, he's no longer with us, but yeah." My granddad sort of argued down a 2-star general one day that came on the base that decided he wanted to
Nice.
take an airplane that wasn't safe. And my grandfather told him, he said, "There's me and there's God, and you ain't God."
Yep.
He tried to pull the rank that he was a general, and the base commander sided with my grandfather and said, "These planes don't move unless he says they're safe."
Right. Exactly. Good for him. That's hard to stick to your guns sometimes.
Well, when you got a 2-star general that comes on the base with a full military escort that's armed to the teeth, with their fingers on the trigger, and saying, "Well, we need planes. These need to be loaded, no questions asked," which is what he was told at the time. My granddad told me about it, and he was just like, "I don't care what you're."
Filling these air bottles, and one of them is to check the expiration date on them for the last inspection. And the state guy brought bottles that were out of date. They had not been inspected. And there had been several incidents where that caused an issue, and firefighters died during training because their bottle had an incident with it. You know, they had some kind of failure and they died because of it. And he's like, "Oh, it'll be fine." And I stood my ground and I said, "No, you guys are the ones that made these rules, that we're going to follow these rules. And these rules say that's not a safe bottle." Thankfully, I had a chief that backed me up on it.
Oh yeah.
That always
And
comes in handy.
we didn't use those bottles because I refused to fill them. I refused to give them to my guys.
I don't blame you there.
And so I have become like a talking point now at conferences and stuff. A little 5'2" engineer that stood up to the, he was probably like 6'3" state fire official.
It's the same with my
My
grandma.
sweetheart's
One of the lead guys, and she refused to use his bottles, and he ended up doing other stuff wrong as well, but like he burned up that engine that he brought for the training. He didn't keep water flowing through it, so he burned up the engine, overheated it, and ended up destroying the pump on it, which meant we had to use our pumper, which we were fine with. The problem is we're a small department, right? So if there's a fire or something, our pumper is tied up to a training call now, as opposed to being able to go put out a real fire. So anyway, it's a amusing point in my history. I was just glad I had somebody the chief was willing to stand up for me. Because he could have just said, "No, you're going to use those." But the problem was there was a big liability, right? I had liability on my side. If they chose to use those and something terrible happened, it was all going to be on them.
I don't blame you there.
Let's see. What do I want to do here?
Okay.
This wall sticks up now because the floor has steps on it. Oh, interesting.
This is gonna look good when it's all said and done.
Their color schemes are all messed up.
Time to come up top and see what plum you've been up to.
Oh, watch out. Foreman's coming.
Right?
If I don't like it, I'll tear out the floor from out from under him. So you went with a similar idea to what I was doing with the balcony look.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the problem with the chairs. You can't use any of them.
Path blocked on all of them.
Yep. They gotta be backed up a little bit. You see where your
Got
foot...
that problem. I was just kind of putting them down right now.
No, I get that. Just so you know, where your foot is right now is where you literally need to put them.
Okay. What do you think about the Duran statues being up like that?
I like it.
And I was thinking put a kitchen down here for when the servers come up there for their conference. And oh, this is all messed up.
I got you. A servant's area for cooking and stuff, food to be prepared.
Yep. Lined up. Still a little off. Okay. I think I'm going to call it and go hang out with my sweetheart.
Blame you.
I wanted to have some progress done up here.
Oh, you've done a lot.
You got
dude.
lots of progress. What are you talking about?
Believe me, this is...
I saw what you did.
Okay, Plum, you got to remember, dude, I've put officially as of right now, as of the end of December, I've put over 2 years rebuilding Moria. So hey, trust me, I'm
Oh,
in
I
the
know you
grind.
have. You and I talked about it. I was contemplating the braziers, and the braziers fit perfect.
Yeah, actually, you
And
know what would
Alaska
look even
suggested.
better?
I'm
You know
listening.
the two statues that have the light lanterns on them?
Yep, I actually have them on there.
One on
Put
either
them on
side,
either side.
one on either side of this.
The honor.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Just a thought.
No, I wanted to bring them in. I just didn't. It wasn't clicking where I wanted to bring them in at. And I was thinking only one side for the chairs, so the servers can come up and do their job.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, if you're gonna have a council meeting, you know, anybody that's addressing the council is gonna be out in front of them talking, and then the rest of them will be sitting.
Yep,
So the only thing
exactly.
you really need right here is, I would say, put like a podium or something like right here.
Yep, I gotcha. And then they can chant, they drink, and oh, I got to put the stein up here. Or
Because you figure with dwarven lords, you'll have one lord, and then they'll have one guard with them.
yeah.
Oh, you sneaky
At the
little.
bottom and
Oh no,
see what it
wait,
looks
that's
like at
right.
the bottom. I'm looking up.
Local's gonna come down here and see what I'm building before he leaves.
I am. Boy, I almost ran out of an arch that had nothing under it.
Oh boy.
Trust me, it wouldn't be the first time that he's jumped before he's looked.
Toth and I have history in Satisfactory.
Don't. I thought we agreed not to bring that up.
I'm just saying we have history. I didn't go any further with that.
I thought we agreed not to mention that ever.
Wow. From down here looking up. Wow. Very happy.
It's pretty impressive.
Where are you at?
Mapstone 2 on Dwarreldelf.
Okay. I can't deconstruct. I'm not trying to. Stone 2, Upper City. Got it.
Oh, I missed one. Did I do that?
Your idea of raising that another half column high completed the look.
It's a little. I'm a little annoyed it's not lined up with the gate, but it's all right. It's
Well, the only
Moria.
way you
Nothing's
do
ever
it, she'd
gonna
have
line
to
up.
move the whole thing.
Yeah, because this gate's not, that hallway's not lined up with the other hallway, so. This is how you build in the round.
always got upset that you had that fraction of a look to where you split columns, put a door in there, and they don't center.
Well, I think I've got mine centered.
No, but I mean in other builds, like when I was in my an RV or whatever, and I'm closing off the doorway. Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, now you've just given Plum more ideas.
Yeah, I'm so fucked right now. Excuse me, sorry.
Thank you.
So you can make this.
Oh, I can hear the gears turning. I already know what you've got in mind to do. I know what you're planning. Those three, we were planning to put towers on each of the corners of Durin's tower up there. I know exactly what you're thinking. Rounded towers. Yeah,
I thought all the dwarves had fled.
I know exactly what's gonna happen. Is tomorrow I'm gonna get a message like, buddy, are you gonna play Moria? I got an idea. I know it's coming. I can hear, I can see the smoke rising from your house. Yeah, I know what's gonna happen. If you get done spending time with the missus and I'm still awake later, you're gonna message me saying, "Hey, can you fire up Moria?" I know it's coming. Way ahead of you. Her Twitch channel has got her YouTube link on it. Okay. Well, if you ain't happy with it, tear it down and rebuild it. Nothing stopping you. I'm being serious. I've done it before on big builds. Oh, I've been going for 4 hours. Huh. That won't be good. If it does, it does. I hear in-game wind. I don't hear the wind on your end. Hmm. Oh. I don't know, to be honest. I never understood that. What? That would have been bad. That's that. I believe so. I'm coming. Yep. And you got the big guys. They came across the main bridge, the one you ain't got blocked. Yep.
That's one more for me.
Be right back.
Something's been looking for you. Oh, I'm tired. When do we get to eat?
I'm back. Sorry about that. I was helping helping my aunt for a second. Her dog, she's got 5 dogs, and they're a bit of a handful. One of them's a whiner, and she don't like to listen.
This morsel gone. Ain't gonna get better than this pit.
I see they gave up. putting that little bit of a roadblock across the front there, they quit. I get you. A sentry post. Probably what I'll spend tomorrow doing at some point is just going and farming. Do that off a stream and restock things. Because I've let things dwindle. Which with so many builds going on, it honestly doesn't take long for stuff to be going through. Yeah, I got high end stuff. It's the low end stuff that you run out of, which ends up being the key stuff that goes with the high end stuff, namely wood. Which luckily the trees respawn, so I can usually hit them up every so many. I remember when you couldn't get the wood to respawn in the Elven Quarter. It was just a one and done deal. Oh, where it's not respawning? Yeah, it's the Elven Workshop, the Elven Quarter. Oh yeah, in the sandbox, I believe it. Yeah, it is the workshop. Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, that would be a little bit annoying. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I see prey ahead.
I got you. Yeah. I got you. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a bit annoying. Yeah, yeah, that would drive me crazy. Yeah. That made no sense to me.
A bear nest.
Yeah. Yeah. Fun. I believe if you did, that had to be grounds for riot. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, it's... No, it's true. Now... Yeah, my world, once I ran out of stuff to mine, I took an inventory of all the stuff because I knew what all I was planning to do and rebuild. I was like, I started looking at what I had available left. I was like, well, if this is all the granite, because I was pretty thorough with going through everything initially when I went through. I'm like, if this is all the granite there is, there's a problem. There ain't going to be enough to do a third of what I want to do. So I took the hit. I took the hitting up farm worlds because at the time, is the only way you could get extra materials until they started putting in the respawn timers for stuff. No, yeah, that's true. That's why that's why I go to other worlds to farm it. But that's why I'm also glad now that you have the expeditions, because in the expeditions you can go farming and replenish stuff easier. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If I was only building like small bases in small sections, then yeah, the standard world supplies would be more than enough. But since I'm doing a full rebuild and actually trying to get the city up and running like a real city, it's taking an enormous effort. Yeah, a lot of people take it mean, oh, just build a base and that's your constitute. I'm like, no. Rebuilding Moria is more along the lines of what myself and others are doing, where you rebuild every section of Moria. That's rebuilding Moria. Not just building one structure in one little tiny area of the city. That's all fine and well. And there's been some builders that I've caught on some streams. I've stopped being and I'm like, well, wait a second. You're saying you're a builder, but what have you built? And they slip up, right? Oh, well, my friend built this. I'm just decorating it. I said, then you're not a builder. You're a decorator. There's a big difference. I said, I'm not discrediting you. I'm just saying there is a difference between a builder and an interior decorator. A builder generally puts a lot more thought into what they're doing. At least with construction and stuff. Interior decorators put a lot of thought into stuff, but not near the level that what a builders do.
Will do.
Yeah, I'm trying to save up to start building to expand the base. But until I get the rest of my vehicles and all built, that plans for the grand design base that I want to build is going to be on hold. Yeah, I've got a small base that... Yeah. Yeah. I got you. Alright, gang. I'm going to wrap up the YouTube end of the stream. I am going to continue further on off the stream, but I am going to call it quits for tonight. Appreciate y'all tuning in, and I'll catch you on the flip side.